Love Drives Me On, Part 1, written by Samantha Bozin. Quote, Once again, love drives me on, that loosener of limbs, bittersweet creature against which nothing can be done. End quote, Sappho. Exterior suburban neighborhood, daytime. Sophie Grayston is walking down the street of a typical suburban neighborhood in Middle America. They're a mail carrier and they're walking their usual route, delivering mail. As Sophie is walking from one mailbox to the next, they see a woman across the way step outside her home and walk over to the trunk of a fully packed minivan. At first, Sophie doesn't think much of this, but as she gets a closer look at the woman, she goes into full-on panic mode. Sophie stops in front of the house they're delivering mail to and runs straight for the door. They ring the doorbell, not once, but 3 times in a row. Cut to Interior house, daytime. Gemma Wiley is sitting on her couch reading a book and snuggling with her cat. The doorbell rings suddenly 3 times and she sighs. Gemma reluctantly gets up from the sofa and walks to the front door. She opens it. Sophie rushes through the door and into the house.
Hi, here's your mail. Can I come in?
Hi. You're already inside, so I guess, yeah? Is there like something wrong? Hello? Is there like a big spider outside or a mean dog or something?
Gemma reaches for the window by the door to peer through the blinds. Sophie stands straight up and lunges at Gemma.
Stop, don't look!
Gemma takes a step away from the window and gives Sophie a judgmental look.
What, is the big scary spider gonna jump through the window and attack me?
There's no spider or a dog. By the way, that's a stupid cliche. Dogs love mail carriers. Look, I know that you don't know me that well.
Or at all, except for the fact that you're my mail carrier.
Right. But you're 522 Jameson Street, Gemma Wiley. You have a BLM sign in your front yard, and by the looks of your mail, you frequently donate to Planned Parenthood, so it's safe to say that you're a caring person. Which is probably why you're not assaulting me for barging in your home right now.
Why the fuck are you in my house? I'm like this close to calling the cops.
Okay, 1, a cab, and 2, my ex is outside and I'm hiding from her.
Wait, your ex?
Yeah, I guess she's like new to the neighborhood, which means I'm her new mail carrier. Yay me.
Gemma reaches for the blinds again.
Wait, so can I just take a quick peek?
Sophie grabs Gemma's hand.
Oh my god, no, she'll see me.
I'm sure she won't see you. We're in a house. She probably won't even see me if I look. I'll be like sneaky. Okay?
Gemma peers through the blinds.
I mean, so far all I see is boxes and a minivan. Wait, ooh. I think I see... Shit.
Gemma takes a quick step back from the window.
What did you see? Is she out there?
Nothing. No one. What'd you say your ex's name was?
Well, I didn't say, I don't think.
Okay, so what is her name anyway?
I don't really see why that matters. I mean, I honestly don't really want to think about her. I just want to block her out of my mind until it's safe to go back outside.
Oh my god, will you just shut the fuck up and tell me what her name is already?
Dude, what's your deal? You don't need to be freaking rude about it.
May I remind you that you barged into my home. A stranger walked right into my house as if it was their own.
Right. Sorry again about that.
Sophie looks down at the ground, embarrassed and trying to gather her thoughts.
Taylor.
Sophie looks back up, pale as a ghost. She looks confused, yet knows exactly what Gemma means.
Did I mishear?
Your ex.
How did you?
How did I know that Taylor McAllister is your ex? I mean, for one, I looked out the window. And for 2, she's my ex as well.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, no, you probably dated her before me or something, but it's true. My ex moved across the street from me, and your ex is officially on your mail route. Great.
I'm still... I mean, Taylor, that's... God, I am sorry. She sucks ass.
Yeah, well, tell me something I don't know.
Gemma and Sophie stand there awkwardly for a moment.
Okay, so, I'm not like a cold-hearted bitch or anything. Like you said, I try to be caring of others. So, if you like want to come inside for coffee until like Taylor finishes unpacking your fucking minivan or whatever, I mean, you totally can. As long as you're not like gonna murder me or something.
Oh God, no, I'm not a killer. Trust me, I'm vegan.
Okay, so you want to just chill until the coast is clear?
You're a fucking angel, Gemma.
Sure. Come on in.
Gemma leads Sophie to the kitchen.
You can sit down at the table if you want, or you don't have to.
Oh, thanks.
Sophie sits down.
Wait, so what's your name? I didn't ask before I let you in my house, which is really fucking dumb of me.
Oh, Sophie, I know I don't really see you that much since you never seem to be home when I deliver the mail.
Well, yeah, I guess you caught me at the one day out of the year that I decide to work from home.
Well, lucky me. I mean, I'm getting a free cup of coffee and a free Get Out of Taylor's Path of Destruction and Chaos card. So, thank you.
So, I guess, when did y'all date? Must have been pretty new if you're this worked up about it.
Oh, let's see. We broke up like 6-ish years ago, I think.
Oh, wow. So I guess you dated her before me, which is something I didn't see coming. Wait, Sophie? Did you and Taylor date like in college? You had like bright pink hair at the time?
Yes, it was more of like a quarrel, actually. Oh wait, did she talk shit about me?
Oh no, you know how it is with exes.
I mean, I'm friends with all my exes, but
Except Taylor, clearly.
Gemma hands them a cup of coffee and sits down at the table. Sophie takes a sip and they sit in total silence for a moment.
so when did y'all date then?
Um, that's pretty fresh.
How fresh? Sorry, I don't mean to pry.
It's fine. I mean, she was my last serious relationship, so very, very fresh.
Oh.
Yeah. And just for the record, I'm friends with most of my exes too. It's like sort of a lesbian way, if you will. I was just being nice before.
Yeah, I figured. But if I had to guess, you and Taylor aren't exactly friends, are you?
Like that toxic ex I try to avoid at all costs, but is somehow always still stuck in my brain.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh yeah. She certainly seems to have that type of lasting effect on people, doesn't she?
Gemma and Sophie share an awkward moment of laughter. They go back to sipping their drinks. Sophie sets her coffee cup on the table and sighs.
You think it's safe to go back out there?
Well, let's go check.
Sophie and Gemma get up from the table and walk back over to the window in the living room. They stand side by side and peer through the blinds together.
Looks like the coast is clear.
Thank God.
They both take a step back from the window. Sophie sticks their hand out.
What is this?
I just want to say thank you.
With a handshake?
I mean...
I'm just fucking with you.
Gemma puts her hand out to meet Sophie's. They shake hands and smile.
Really, though? Thanks for letting a total stranger in your home.
Well, you're no longer a total stranger. And yeah, it wasn't a problem at all.
Sophie starts to head for the front door. Gemma follows her.
Okay, well, if you're ever working from home again, don't be shy.
I won't.
Sophie turns to the door and opens it. As the door opens, Taylor is seen standing on the porch, about to ring Gemma's doorbell.
Oh, hi. Hi, Sophie. And Gemma, I came here to see you. Why are you two together?
Gemma and Sophie stand in the frame of the door, gobsmacked and not sure what to say.
Are you two...
Oh my gosh, no, that's...
No. Sophie is,
the mail carrier for this neighborhood. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, I had no idea since we haven't talked in, what has it been? 3, 4 years since we last saw each other?
Yeah, right. Yeah, forever ago.
Well, anyways, I was just popping by to say hi to you, Gemma. I just moved in across from you. Right over there.
Oh, wow, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I figured it would be cool for us to be close by, just for old time's sake.
Oh.
Alrighty, I think, I gotta go. Gotta go deliver the rest of this mail here.
As Sophie takes a step out of the door frame, Channing walks up to the door. They put their arm around Taylor. Sophie takes a step back into the door frame.
Hey, babe. Ooh, you're just in time. Gemma, Sophie, this is Channing.
Gemma and Sophie look at each other, bewildered. Channing sticks their hand out to greet them.
Hey, I'm Channing.
Sophie.
Sophie and Channing shake hands, and then Channing sticks their hand out to Gemma, who is standing in the doorway, frozen.
Gemma, hello?
Oh, hi. I'm
Gemma waits to say her name as if Channing will interject before she finishes her thought.
Gemma.
Hi, Gemma.
Channing sticks their hand out further. Gemma reluctantly shakes their hand.
Well, this has just been the gayest thing ever. I mean, right?
Yeah.
But we have got a lot of unpacking to do, so we are going to head back over. Feel free to pop by anytime, though. We'll have you all over for drinks sometime.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you all.
Sophie and Gemma nod and smile. Channing and Taylor wave and then turn to walk back to their house. Sophie turns to face Gemma in the doorframe. Gemma's eyes are wide. Gemma pulls Sophie back into the house and she slams the front door.
What the actual fuck was that?
Bro, I mean, it's bad enough your ex has to move literally across the street from you, but throwing your new relationship in your face like that too? I mean, come on. And Channing? What kind of fucking name is that? And she wasn't even that pretty.
They.
What?
They. Channing uses they, them pronouns.
Oh, okay, noted. Wait, how do you know that? I mean, did I miss that part of the conversation? Oh my god, did I black out from shock?
No, didn't miss anything. We never talked about it. I just,
You just what? I mean, we just met them.
Not exactly.
Sophie stares at Gemma wide-eyed. She waits for Gemma to say something.
Channing and I,
But Channing and you what?
Well, we went on a date. What? I'm just really confused and pissed off that they acted like they didn't know me.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe they forgot who you were?
I highly doubt that.
Well, how long ago did you go on a date?
Like, no joke, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, so what you're really trying to tell me is they totally U-hauled it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they did.
I never pegged Taylor as
I
a
never saw
U-Haul
Tay as
type.
a U-Haul lesbian.
Yes, I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, we would know best. Between the two of us, we dated her for, 5 years combined? I mean, I dated her for 3 during college, and you dated for 2 years, maybe?
6 years.
Did you say 6 years?
Yeah, we lived together and everything. I mean, we were like fully planning a family together, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was that intense. You know, Taylor was my first girlfriend, so it was a pretty memorable relationship for me. That's why I, hate seeing her or really even thinking about her. Things just didn't really end well.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Do you mind me asking?
What?
Well, I know you said that you went on a date with Channing 3 weeks ago. Still crazy to me, by the way. And you said things with Tay are fresh. But, how long ago did you and Tay, end things?
Like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months, maybe?
Oh. Well, I guess that would explain why you're fairly new to my route.
Yeah.
Gemma slumps down on the sofa. Sophie carefully sits down next to her. They put their hand on Gemma's shoulder.
Hey,
Gemma looks over at Sophie.
it's gonna work out. I know it's really, weird right now, but I promise you're not alone in this shit show. I mean, for Pete's sake, I have to deliver their fucking mail every day now.
Gemma smiles at Sophie. Sophie still has her hand on Gemma's shoulder. Gemma puts her hand on top of Sophie's. Gemma leans closer.
Oh.
Sophie leans closer, and they kiss. Cut to black. Alone, written by Megan Schraeder.
I thought for so long that everyone's purpose was to feel whole when they're alone. But what if alone means imploding? What if alone means nothing is more terrifying than yourself in the dark? When you are both sides of a war between your brain and your heart, when they finally work together but to burn down your peace. But the burn becomes numbness, and the numbness covers the ache. And you become rubble on the floor, and your hands start to shake, and the rest of your body follows until you've crumbled past the point of feeling anything at all. When you're on your own, you can build a life in your mind that makes you feel whole, that makes you feel wanted, that makes you feel normal. And then you turn over and you stare at a screen that screams otherwise. And it hits you with reality like hail to a sidewalk. But you empathize with the way that it breaks when it hits the ground. But the dark is not your enemy, and your brain does not have to be. If you just take a step, the floor is not a landmine. Take a breath, let your lungs fill with air. Your body is not a prison. Turn on the lights, turn on music, turn to yourself in the mirror, and know that if you saw you the way everyone else does, you'd never fear the dark again. Because even when you are hurting, you radiate light. Because even broken glass lets sun shine through its cracks.
You Just Never Know, written by Tangila Lee. Act 1, Scene 1, Catching Up. Alma dances around the kitchen making breakfast. She stops when her radio show comes on. There's a murder mystery on and she's listening intently. There's lots of tension, like a jump scare could happen at any moment in the story. She's holding a milk bottle as Willie enters stage left, walking up behind her. He startles her, almost making her drop the bottle of milk.
Come on now, I almost dropped the milk. You and these jokes you play, they're gonna get you in trouble one day. Oh, well, if it's trouble with you, I'll happily take it on. It's all in good fun, honey.
He picks her up, twirling her around the kitchen, ending with a kiss on her nose. She grabs his face to plant another one on his lips. He sets her down and helps her get the rest of the breakfast ready while she sets the table.
What are you going to be up to today while I'm out?
I got some grocery shopping to do, and then I'm going to go see my daddy.
Oh, nice. He still doesn't know about us, huh?
Willie sits in the chair across from where Alma is setting down a bowl and reaches for an orange on the table.
You know I wouldn't tell a soul. They'd be up here in a minute to crucify the both of us. I don't know about you, Willie, but I definitely don't want to take on the role of Joan of Arc anytime soon. You remember that tale Martha told us about that couple?
Of course I remember. I wake up in cold sweats every night thinking about it.
You do? I hadn't noticed, what with half the bed getting soaked every few nights.
You're one to talk, over there joking about serious matters. Right now, my little jokes seem to pale in comparison to the severity and reality of yours.
Be honest with me now. No one at your work knows either?
Not a soul. What about you? Anyone in your family have the slightest clue?
They don't have the faintest.
Willie stands and moves in front of Alma, taking her in his arms, dancing to the new song that plays on the radio.
Well, not much can be done if anyone were to catch on to us. We just have to surrender. I wouldn't let a thing happen to you.
Just then, a knock sounds on the door.
William Henry Beauregard II, open this door. I know you're in there. Open the door for your mother.
It's my mom.
Alma scurries to put everything back the way they had it, covering any evidence of her being there.
Go to your spot and try not to make a sound.
I know what to do.
Willie adjusts his tie and opens the door for his mother.
What took so long?
Mrs. Beauregard rushes past him and into the house, Jeffrey the butler hot on her heels.
I was just tidying up.
He moves to help the butler with a few grocery items.
What is all this?
I went and picked up a few groceries. I thought you might be busy trying to find a nice wife and all. I want any woman that comes home with you to see a man that takes care of his home. I also brought cleaning supplies.
She swipes the ungloved finger across the table, checking for
Why,
dirt.
thank you, Mama, but that was quite unnecessary. Not really looking for anyone right now. I'll find her when I find her.
There's a sudden thud from upstairs.
What was that?
That's nothing. Just that fussy cat.
I didn't know you got a cat. I would have picked up some food for it.
Willie starts to rush his mother and her
That's
butler out the door.
Quite unnecessary, Mama. I'll see you soon now. I must be getting off to work.
He pushes them through the door and watches as she shuffles into the car and drives off.
I love you, Willie. Call me later.
Alma, sweetie, she's gone. You can come down now.
Alma takes her sweet time coming down the stairs.
Your mother's still trying to marry you off?
You think she'd stop?
She won't until you're married to someone she wants to see you with.
Well, that ain't gonna happen. Because you and me, we're common law married by the Commonwealth of Virginia. I think. And either way, no one's stopping us when they pass that law next week. The one they've been talking about on the radio, that loving case, that's gonna change everything for us.
He moves to grasp her up in his arms again.
All that's good and dandy, but that does nothing for me having to hide whenever someone knocks on that door. And in my own house, no less. My family doesn't even know where I live, Willie. I'm getting tired.
Alma breaks free of his embrace and moves across the room.
There's nothing you can say or do that can stop me from feeling tired. Not without breaking my heart, too.
Do you think we're being selfish with our love?
There's a pregnant pause and she stares out the window.
Sometimes. But then I think we're being safe too. We just have to figure our way around it.
We keep having to figure our way around it.
Willie frustratedly throws down the newspaper he's holding.
I keep a lid on everything, every day. I make sure we stay hidden, a secret. But there's nothing I wouldn't give to share you with the world, to share the fact that I love you.
Alma walks up to him and cups his face in her hands.
Look at me, Willie. William Henry Beauregard, if you don't meet my eyes, so help me. There is nothing more in this world I want than to show you to my daddy, but that ain't how the world works. I wish we could change it, but for now, we just gotta live in it. We just gotta live.
He moves from her grasp and gets his work clothes on right, tightens his tie and suit jacket all into place.
My mama brought groceries, so you can mark that off your list.
I heard. I wish I could have thanked her. Do you think she suspected anything?
She may have. She's a pretty smart woman. What with you making all that racket up there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The coat hanger fell to the ground before I could catch it.
Alma moves to tidy up the room a bit more.
Yes, well, your lack of speed is the reason we need to get a cat now.
But I'm allergic. How are we going to pull that off? My comfort is compromised more and more every day.
Oh, hush now. I'll just say it ran off. She'll believe it. I could never keep a pet very long. Seemed like they always were running away from me.
Well, then I guess we better leave the pets to the kids.
I guess.
Willie gathers his things and walks towards the door.
You sure you're going to be okay today?
I've been okay for 2 years, haven't I?
Yes. I just need us to lay low for 1 more week, okay? If anything happens, just call me.
I know, Willie. Go to work.
She shoos him out the door and goes back to her cleaning tasks. Moments pass before a knock is heard at the door. Alma peeks through the blinds and is surprised to see Mrs. Beauregard standing back at the door. She runs to her more secure hiding spot, a closet beneath the staircase with camouflage wallpaper. Blackout. Scene 2. Mrs. Beauregard makes her way into the house with a key she had made months before. Her tone has changed. She has a more southern twang, and she speaks with more AAVE than before.
Now to find that old album before he does.
Where do you suppose we look first?
Check all the boudoirs.
Jeffrey moves to say something but is immediately cut off.
And before you fix your mouth to tell me you don't see it, check it again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll check the upstairs bedroom.
I guess I'll check the kitchen.
Why would you check the kitchen? I swear if you weren't my cousin, I'd toss you out on your hind parts so fast.
Your tone is unnecessary. It was just a suggestion.
Oh, well, stop suggesting and get to looking.
Jeffrey goes and starts looking around in the kitchen. Alma is still hiding but is able to listen in on the conversation, though hardly able to hear. Jeffrey and Mrs. Beauregard convene back in the living area.
Well, did you find it?
Did we check everything?
The only things going unchecked are the walls of this house.
Well, we can't rip this place apart now, can we?
Oh, are you sure about that? I'll have Bill and his boys over here in a second with sledgehammers and new sheetrock.
Mrs. Beauregard runs over to the phone, but Jeffrey stops her from picking up the receiver and puts the phone back down.
What are you doing? This is life or death.
He drags her over to have a seat on the couch.
We have to find that album before he does. This can't get out. How did I even let it fall into his hands?
Try to calm down. Raising your blood pressure is not going to, it won't help the situation. It's not going to help us find the album.
Well, if you have any other ideas, please enlighten me.
Jeffrey makes his way over to get a glass of water and hopes that it'll calm her nerves.
Maybe I just shouldn't have lied to everyone.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 1. Catching down. Lights up in an office space. Willie is sitting at his desk on a phone.
Yes, Mr. Jefferson, we plan to have that in tip-top shape by the time you get all moved in. Yeah, they've got some nice interiors for you to look at down at the office today. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. See you in a little while.
Willie's boss, Henry, walks in holding a stack of papers. He slams them down on Willie's desk.
What happened to that sale over on Temple Street, Willie? We were supposed to close on that last week. Now, David and the boys down there at Finley Brothers might offer a better deal.
Sir, I'm not sure about the temple sale. You didn't let me head down to that one.
You'll be taking over this business someday, Willie. There's no more letting you do anything. Take initiative. Make some demands, reasonable ones, of course. You're almost 30. This place will be yours in no time, like it was mine and your father's. It'll be yours and your brother's. You understand?
I'll call them and set up an offer on the temple property as soon as possible.
Good. I'll be back in 5 for the rundown and bring the keys. I'm expecting good things, Willie.
Yes, sir. I'll try not to disappoint you.
No, don't try not to. Just don't, boy.
Henry walks off stage. Catherine Clark, the older woman from the bakery next door, enters the stage. She's carrying a hefty basket of baked goods.
He's really been on you, hasn't he?
Not without good reason. How are you, Mrs. Clark?
Willie sits back at his desk looking busy. Mrs. Clark continues trying to engage in friendly conversation.
Oh, I'm doing terrific. Just as spry as a spring chicken in '94.
That's good.
Yeah, well, I brought you some muffins. I hope that's okay. I made a few over my daily batch.
Willie looks into the basket, surprised at the amount.
There's a good 20 muffins in there. I'd say you made well over your daily batch, Miss Clark.
Well, you know what they say. A woman bakes until she marries off her last.
I don't think I've ever heard that saying, Miss Clark.
It's new.
Is it now?
It very well is. My Susan will be 26 this month, way past the marrying age. I'm starting to think she won't find anyone, William.
Oh, I'm sure she has plenty of suitors at her beck and call. She's a pretty girl.
Really? You really think my Susan is pretty?
Why, of course, Mrs. Clark. The apple didn't fall too far.
Mrs. Clark is visibly flustered and chuckles.
I want you to marry my daughter, Willie, not me.
I can't marry either of you, Mrs. Clark. You know that.
I just don't understand. Who could you possibly be waiting for? You know, after a certain age, men don't work as well as they used to. I mean, sexually.
Now that's enough, Mrs. Clark.
I just mean goodbye to the morning ones.
I said enough, Mrs. Clark.
I'm just trying to warn you.
I'll be just fine. It's okay, Mrs. Clark.
You'd be even finer if you married my Susan, but that's another conversation for another day, I guess.
Was there anything else, Mrs. Clark?
Well, I guess not. I'll get out of your hair if that's what you really want.
Catherine turns to leave, suddenly turning back as if she forgot something.
Oh, I almost forgot. I've got my boy Bo coming to your place to look at the hot water heater later. Your mother mentioned you were having a few problems with it.
Willie gets a little nervous and starts to stutter.
I think I can figure it out just fine, Mrs. Clark.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I just thought I'd send my boy over there to help you out.
It's okay. You don't have to do that.
I already told your mother I was going to send him. It would be quite rude of me to rescind my offer, no?
That's okay. I'll tell her I politely declined.
I don't know if I'd consider this polite necessarily. It seems like you just don't want my boy at your house.
I assure you it's nothing like that.
Good. Then he'll be over at 6:30.
Mrs. Clark.
Oh, hush now.
I just don't think that's a very good...
Just be there for a few minutes to help you out.
I told you I don't need it.
He's never once overstayed his welcome.
Well, you're overstepping here, Mrs. Clark.
Well.
Catherine takes a step toward the door. Before she reaches to turn the knob, she turns back to him.
You've got a lot of nerve raising your voice at me, boy. What with all the kindness I've offered you?
I didn't mean to be short with you, Mrs. Clark.
Yeah, well, you were. And I don't particularly take kind to people being rude.
I apologize.
I'm not too sure I want to accept it. I think I'll just ring your mother up when I get back to the bakery.
You can send him over.
I don't think I want to now.
Mrs. Clark crosses her arms.
Please send him over. I need his help. I just might freeze without it.
Fine. I'll send Bo over around 6:30.
That sounds just fine, Mrs. Clark.
Catherine turns to leave just as Henry comes back.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Clark.
Hi, Henry.
What brings you by?
I was just dropping off some baked goods.
The muffins.
Oh, that's awfully sweet of you.
They're for Willie to take home. My boy is dropping by to help him with his water heater today. His mother dropped in the other day and told me about his cold shower problems. I took it upon myself to assume something else, but I was right. And now he might marry my Susan.
Is that so?
It sure is.
Mrs. Clark.
Well, it's true. You almost gave me your word.
I did no such thing.
You even called her beautiful.
Well, that was...
Okay. That's enough.
I'm going to go tell Bo he's got to be at your place later, and I'll tell Susan to tag along.
She turns and is out of the door before Willie can protest.
All right, did you get a chance to call the couple about the house up on Temple?
You know I didn't. Not with her in here talking my ear off and spewing nonsense.
Well, call now and get that off.
Henry walks to the basket of muffins, taking one before he walks back out the door. Blackout. Act 3, Scene 1. Catching Sideways. Lights up at Alma's father's house. Alma and her dad are both seated on the sofa.
I can't believe Esther told you something like that.
Yep. And I burned every cookie too.
Well, it won't do you much good to dwell on the past. It's best you learn from your mistakes and just move on.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
How's that fancy job treating you?
Oh, yeah, it's treating me real nice. The boys down there at Temple won't leave me alone.
Well, if any of them mess with you, you just call me. Yeah?
I know, Daddy. Where's Auntie Esther?
She probably out back. You know them chickens ain't gonna pluck themselves. You want some water?
Charles gets up from his seat, heading toward the kitchen door.
Sure, Daddy.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Aunt Esther enters stage left through the back door. She's got her boots on just like she was out in the chicken coop, and her apron is covered in feathers. She sees Alma and runs to hug her.
Alma, Charles didn't tell me you were stopping by today.
The two women spin around in a circle.
Well, it's weird that he didn't. He normally gets so excited that the house is packed to the brim with people.
The two move on the couch to sit on it.
Well, ever since you told him you didn't like that, he stopped telling everyone, honey. I guess even me now, child.
Well.
So, how are things?
Things are good.
You know what I mean. How are things?
Things are great. We only have a week left before they pass it.
You sure they will?
He's got a lot of faith in it. Believes so strongly, it's basically enough for the both of us. I still haven't told Daddy.
Oh, honey, you don't want him to find out the other way. It'll break his heart. And you know that he loves that you trust him.
To be fair, I didn't even tell you. You found out. I love him too much to ruin what we have.
Well, your father understands. You just be honest with him, okay?
Charles re-enters the room with much more than he left to get. He has water, some leftover pie, and a few glasses of milk, all on a platter.
I knew I heard voices. How them chickens looking?
They fine, Charles. And who told you you can get my pie and offer it up?
This is my house. If I feel like offering a pie to my own daughter, so help me, that's what I'll do.
All right now, old fool. Don't try to embarrass me in front of my niece.
Daddy, I'm going to have to go in a bit. What is all this?
Y'all made a pie a few days ago that almost knocked my socks off. I wanted you to try it. And a pie is no good without milk.
I have one slice and then I'll go.
That's all I ask.
They all gather around the table. Blackout. Scene 2. Almost caught. Lights up on Willie's house. Bo is in the hallway looking at something and thinking, while Willie stands close by. Susan is standing close to Willie, trying to link her arm with his, but he keeps moving away.
How long do you think this is going to take?
I don't know. I have to do some tinkering around, so maybe a few hours, give or take.
A few hours?
Oh, don't worry. That just gives us more time to get to know each other before our wedding.
Willie shoots her a look and backs away again, this time snatching his arm more harshly.
Bo, do you think you can speed that up? I've got company coming soon.
You can't rush perfection, Willie. Rome wasn't built in a day.
This isn't Rome, Bo. This is a hot water heater, and I have to have you out of here soon.
What's the rush?
I already said I've got company coming.
What kind of company is so important that we can't be here?
Yeah, we probably know him.
Trust me, you don't.
We can get to know him.
Yeah.
Nope, I've got people from work coming over in an hour, and I'll need you guys out by then.
The phone rings, and Willie loosens his arm from Susan's grip to go answer it.
Hello? Yes?
Willie hears an answering service on the other line, but uses the opportunity to pretend that his guests are coming earlier.
Earlier the better, you say? Oh, no, I completely understand. I would as well, yes. Thank you for your business. I'll have everything prepared in 20 minutes. Just us, huh? Oh, yes, sure. I've got a few people here, but they were just leaving. Okay, thank you. I'll see you in a few.
Susan and Bo stand staring at Willie as he makes his way back over to them.
Well, looks like you two are going to have to come back later. I'll call you to let you know when.
Just then, Alma's key twists in the door and she can be heard trying to get in. Willie rushes to it and knocks 3 times, a signal that they've created in case of emergencies. Alma stops trying to enter and makes her way around back.
Who is that?
Who? That's nobody. It's my cat. I've got a cat.
Your cat knows how to use keys?
No, he probably had them in his mouth.
Alma sneaks in through the back door and walks up the stairs, heading to her hiding spot, rushing before the others turn around. She's holding a slice of pie from her father's, wrapped nicely on a small plate. Her foot gets caught on the stair and she drops the pie, causing a thump and making Bo turn his head in her direction. Only Bo hears it.
Who is that?
They all turn and look in the direction Bo is looking in.
That's enough. It's time for you both to leave.
Willie comes over and ushers them to it. Bo doesn't take his eyes off of the stairwell.
Let's get a move on. I've got company coming soon.
What did you see, Bo?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to come back and check on that water heater.
Bo and Susan are out the door and Willie closes it behind them, walking to the shade to make sure they leave quickly.
Alma, they're gone.
Alma walks slowly down the stairs.
Think he saw me.
He didn't see clear enough. You moved fast.
Alma moves down the stairs, walking closer to Willie.
What's this I hear about company?
Oh, that was just something I made up, trying to get them out quicker. How was seeing your dad?
It was good, but sad. You know how much it pains me to keep this from him.
I know, but it's only a few more days, honey. We've only got a few more days.
I know.
Willie moves to hug her.
I sincerely hope you're right.
Have I ever steered you wrong?
You know, I overheard some ladies talking in the market. We could drive over to Wicker County and get married.
We could, but we don't need to do that. We'll be getting married right here come Monday.
I love that you're so sure, but that was twice today we were almost found out. Why don't we just tell everyone?
The world isn't ready for it. You saw how they treated that couple fighting.
Yeah, I saw it.
Why would you want that for us?
I don't want that for us, but...
Alma breaks away from him and walks to the other side of the room.
But what?
You don't want to join the fight?
What?
You don't feel the need to fight for your right to love me freely without being persecuted?
What are you talking about?
It just feels like we're sitting on the sidelines waiting to reap the benefits of their sacrifices. I want to fight too.
You don't know what you're saying.
I don't?
No, you don't.
I'm starting to think that you don't want to fight for me.
That's not it. I'd go to war for you.
Willie crosses the room to her.
Then why not just come out and tell people? Your mother showed up here this morning after you left, and I had to hide again.
Yeah, well, I can't stop her.
But you can tell her the truth, just like I can tell my daddy.
Please.
Please what?
Alma. I'm not afraid to fight for me. I'm afraid for you. For us. We stand to lose everything right now. It's not legal yet, honey.
I understand that. But there's strength in numbers.
I want to agree with you, but I can't. Not when our lives and livelihood are at stake. I'm set to inherit the company soon. Why can't you just wait? We've been doing this for 2 years. You can't wait just 2 more weeks.
Maybe because we've been doing this for 2 years and I'm tired, Willie. I'm tired of lying and hiding. I want to love you freely out in the open.
I'm not continuing this conversation.
Fine.
Willie moves to the stairs to head to the bedroom. Alma grabs the paper and sits on the couch. Blackout. Act 4, Scene 1. Alma is at the house cleaning and listening to the news on the radio about the Supreme Court ruling. Alma's listening intently as she polishes glasses. She hears keys jingle in the door. Realizing that they couldn't be Willie, she runs and hides in her closest hiding spot. Mrs. Bogard and Jeffrey slip in quietly. Mrs. Bogard is holding a paper bag of groceries and sets them on the table.
He should be at work. Willie, I brought some groceries.
Doesn't sound like he's here.
We gotta find that album.
Oh, so you say every day. I think I know by now.
Go check upstairs. I'll check out back. Willie shouldn't be home for another few hours.
Jeffrey nods and heads upstairs. Mrs. Bogard heads off stage. Alma comes out thinking that she's safe. She thinks they've left and that they've just left the groceries out on the table. She walks over to them, picks them up, and heads for the kitchen. As she exits, Jeffrey comes back down the stairs.
Ain't no album up there, just like the last time.
He notices the groceries are missing and figures that Mrs. Bogard put them away. His face is out toward the audience, and Alma walks out to the kitchen door, noticing the man is still there. She runs back in and hides, but can still be seen peeking through the door. Mrs. Bogard comes in from the side door that leads out back.
Well, did you find it?
Doesn't look like I found it.
Oh, don't get smart now. I can easily leave you right here.
Good then. I wouldn't have to look for these darn albums anymore. Why don't you just let it go, Mary?
Because I can't let it go. I just can't. What if he finds it and finds out the truth?
If you ask me, it was something you should have come clean with a long time ago. You should be honest with the family. You spent years with them. They love you. They would dare shut you out now. After all this time?
That's what I'm afraid of. That's why I need to find that photo album. I can't risk Willie finding out before I have the chance to tell them.
Exactly. Better to hear it from you before I find that album. But what do I know? I'm just a lonely butler.
Well, thanks for putting away the groceries, Mr. Lowly Butler.
Mary curtsies.
I didn't put away the groceries.
Neither did I. I left them right there.
I saw them, but I thought you put them away.
Well, I didn't. Don't play games now, Jeffrey.
I'm not playing no games. I don't got too old to play games.
Alma hears them getting suspicious. As soon as both of their heads turn toward the door, her head disappears.
Does that mean someone's in the house?
I don't know, but I'm not going to stick around to find out.
Oh, come now, we should look.
You've been pretending to be one of them for so long. You're really starting to think like now, huh?
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm not thinking like them. I'm thinking beyond that. I'm thinking about my son. What if someone is in the house and they want to hurt him?
Don't you think they would have hurt you by now if that was the case?
No, what if they just want Willie?
As I said before, I don't want to find out.
Jeffrey starts tiptoeing towards the door.
Just check, please, Jeffrey.
Oh, dang it.
Jeffrey reluctantly turns back, taking his shoe in his hand and holding it above his head as he tiptoes toward the kitchen door. He paces slowly towards it, pushes it open, and screams at nothing when he finds the kitchen empty.
See, I done told you, it was nobody here.
Then how did the groceries get in the kitchen then?
You're getting old. You probably did it, but you're going to see now.
Oh, that's not funny.
I was very serious.
Is there nowhere else we can look for it? It has to be here.
Willie will home soon. There isn't too much you can say now. We'll have to come back tomorrow. He's going to figure something out, but with all these groceries, you keep bringing it over?
Yeah, let's go. Tomorrow, I'm checking upstairs. I'm going to ask Willie if he has an attic in this place.
Mrs. Bogard and Jeffrey take their leave and walk out the door. Alma peeks from the kitchen when they're completely gone. She takes a few beats to think, then heads up to the attic and searches for the photo album. She comes back and is holding it in her hands. She suspects that this is what Mary has been searching for. She opens it and looks through it as she uncovers the truth. Blackout. Scene 2. Lights up in Willie and Alma's home. Alma is in the living room, folding laundry, listening to the news about the trial being 2 days away and the Supreme Court's decision on making interracial marriage legal coming to a close soon. Willie enters the room, stopping to listen in. Alma notices him, and then they just listen to the broadcast until it ends.
Well, we're almost home free, baby.
Yeah, so you say. That newsman don't sound too sure, Willie.
How many times do I have to tell you? They're passing that law. It's infringing on our rights to marry who we love. They can't do that. It's unconstitutional.
Yeah. They can do what they want to colored people. Have been for years, Willie. I don't know why you think a few judges up on a bench are going to sympathize with us now.
Willie walks closer, grabbing her up in his arms like he does.
Because I just do, honey. Trust in them. And if you don't trust in them, I'm begging you to trust in me.
Fine.
Alma pecks him on the mouth.
But promise me this.
Anything.
If they don't.
But they will.
I'm saying if they don't.
But they will. Why are you even thinking negatively about it?
Willie, I'm serious.
Alma pushes herself down and takes a few steps back. Willie stills, staying quiet as she speaks.
I want you to promise me something.
What is it?
If they don't pass that law.
Willie groans and shakes his head, clearly frustrated.
You'll take me to Wicker County to get married.
Willie is quiet for some time.
Fine.
Alma walks back over to the laundry and continues folding.
I've got to head into the office.
Willie picks up his briefcase, takes his jacket from the hook, and heads for the door.
Without breakfast?
I don't have much time. I have to head over to the place on Temple to show it to a potential buyer. I'll grab something at Mrs. Clark's.
That Susan is there. You can run in the opposite direction, you hear?
Will do, Mrs.
Bye, mister.
Willie walks over and pecks her on the lips before he heads out the door. Alma makes sure he's gone before taking the photo album from under the sofa and looking through it again. Blackout. Act 5, Scene 1. Lights up on Temple. There's a big office space that used to be filled with desks, but is now empty. Willie is there with Henry and the potential buyer.
And what about the insulation? How does that fare?
Well, the insulation fares well, sir. There's plenty to keep your air in the summer and your heat in during winter.
Sounds nice. What about the business? I know there's a lot of foot traffic, but what kind of businesses would they allow in here?
Well, the legal kind.
They all laugh.
Of course.
What kind of business are you looking to put in here?
Well, my wife was thinking of opening a salon.
That sounds just perfect. You can get a place like this up to code in no time. And Barbara, the woman who owned a salon around the corner, just died. What timing, huh?
The men are quiet as they look at him.
God rest her soul.
He bows his head, trying to redeem himself.
She was 92. Everyone is wondering why it hadn't happened sooner. Anywho.
The men are casually talking, and Charles walks into the building carrying a basket and a thermos.
Is this the kind of foot traffic I should be expecting?
Oh, I can assure you, sir, they don't come around here often. You must be lost.
Oh, sir, it's okay. I'll handle it.
Willie walks over to where Charles is, leaving the men to discuss business in private.
Sir, this is private property. You can't be in here.
Oh, No, but my daughter, she works here.
I'm sorry, sir, but no one works here. This place has been vacant for quite some time.
That's odd. She just came by the house the other day.
I'm so very sorry, sir, but we have a potential buyer here. Maybe I can help you find her?
She didn't tell me exactly what job she had. Just it was a fancy office job. They hired her right on the spot. My baby's got that spark to her.
Maybe she works down the street at Mr. Tilley's and Friends, the paper company?
Not sure.
What's her name? I know all the gals down at Mr. Tilley's.
What's the holdup?
Be right there, sir.
Her name is Alma. Alma Mae Preston. I'm Charles. Charles Preston.
Willie stops.
Did you say Alma?
I sure did.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, sir.
Henry makes his way over, walking fast.
What's the holdup?
Blackout. Scene 2. Lights up on Alma's living room. She's still staring at the pictures and sitting on the couch. Soon, the keys jingle at the door and she doesn't move like she normally would. Mrs. Bogard and Jeffrey walk in, not noticing her at first as they slip in. They both stop in their tracks, taking note of a woman of color on the couch.
Oh my heavens, who are you and why are you in my son's home?
I live here, and I have for 2 years.
Jeffrey, call the police.
Wait, I'm telling the truth.
Alma holds up the photo album.
I know all about you, Miss Beauregard.
What you think you know is false.
The proof is all here. I think you should tell Willie the truth, like Jeffrey's been saying all this time.
How do you know what he's been saying?
I hide every time y'all come in. Right here.
Alma walks over to the wall and opens her hiding spot.
Where is my son? I intend to wait for him here.
So you can tell him the truth?
So I can smack him for having you in this house. Does he not know this could ruin him? He's set to take over that company soon. No matter how small, it's something, and he has plans to make it grow. He'll ruin all those plans.
Thank you very much. A lot of those ideas he put to use there came from me.
Oh, all this is funny coming from a colored girl in my son's home.
That's even funnier coming from one colored girl to another.
Alma holds out the album for Mary to see. Mary snatches it. Alma takes slow strides to the couch and sits, smoothing out her dress. Mrs. Bogard stands still in the middle of the floor.
I'm marrying your son tomorrow.
Oh, like hell.
What? You don't want him marrying someone like you?
You are nothing like me.
Because I'm not high yellow enough to pass? Or because my hair ain't straight enough to pass, my lips not thin enough?
No, you're not enough. I didn't come here to be talked to down by the likes of you.
Why did you come? To retrieve your evidence or to bring more groceries?
Alma gestured to stop at the paper bag filled with groceries in her arms. Just then, Willie walks through the door. He turns and places his coat on the hanger.
I thought I saw your car.
Willie looks up, noticing his mother and Alma standing in the living room together.
Willie?
Look, Mother, I can explain.
Don't bother.
There's something your mother has to tell you.
Mrs. Bogard stops in her tracks as Alma starts to speak.
You should tell him the truth.
Don't you undermine me, girl.
You don't even know me.
I don't need to know you. I am you.
Mother, what are you talking about? What is she talking about?
I'll let the words come from her.
Mama?
Jeffrey stands off to the side, shuffling further into the corner as Mary approaches her son.
What are you all talking about?
Well, I was going to tell you at a better time, but seeing as you've kept a secret from me, I don't even know if I should even tell you because, I just don't want to.
Just tell him already, Mary. For God's sake, you've been living this life for over 40 years now. It's time to give up or at least be honest with your son. If you don't tell him, don't matter how polite she is, I'm going to tell him. So out with it.
Out with what? Will someone tell me what's going on?
Mary stays silent for a minute before handing Willie the album. He flips through, looking back up.
Does this mean I'm black?
Oh, hardly. My mother was. I came out a few shades lighter than her, so they sent me off to live with Aunt Augustine. She raised me up until I met your father, and out you came. Oh, I worried. Oh, believe me, I worried when I was pregnant with every single one of you. I worried that one of you would come out a bit too dark, your hair would be a bit too kinky, or your lips would be too full. Never happened, though. In all 3 tries, I was lucky.
What does this mean?
It don't mean nothing unless you make it mean something.
Just then, Charles walks into the open door.
You say you only be a minute.
Daddy?
Helma? What are you doing in this man's house?
This is my house too, Daddy. What are you doing here?
Charles turns to Willie, shocked.
You lied to me. This young man offered me a ride home after I popped in to bring you lunch today.
Over on Temple?
Yeah, that place you lied about. I figured you'd be working, so I bought you lunch to find it empty. Why did you lie to me?
I'm sorry, Daddy.
And why did you lie to me?
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you the whole truth.
Then tell me now.
I plan to marry your daughter.
Oh my God, I never hit you with the stupid stick. Why are you being so foolish?
Your son should be so lucky.
Hey, no.
Willie commands the attention, then walks to Alma's side.
When they pass the law, we're getting married.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Do you know what could happen to your future?
I do. It'll be much brighter with my shining star.
Charles walks forward.
Why didn't you tell me? I thought we were closer than that.
He takes her hand, setting down the thermos.
I know, Daddy, we are close. I didn't want to upset you, and we weren't ready to tell people.
This is ridiculous. You've all lost your minds if you think I'm going to let this happen. What about the company?
I'll still take it over.
No one will want to buy from you.
Charles turns sharply towards her.
You take that back.
I will not.
Hey.
Willie takes a few steps closer, pulling at his shoulder, trying to get some distance between his mother and Charles.
If they bought from my father, they'll buy from me.
I won't stand for this.
Mary turns and heads for the door, seeing that Jeffrey is still standing in the corner.
Jeffrey, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
I'm fine right here, Mary.
You're all dumb, the lot of you.
Mary turns and exits, leaving behind the photo album.
I'm sorry you all had to witness that.
Me too, son.
I'm also sorry I lied to you. I made her keep us a secret. I was scared how people would treat us, how they would treat her. I just didn't want any problems, so we hid.
I understand, young man. But you're right. To love who you want is worth fighting for.
I think I understand that now.
Alma walks over to Willie, taking his hand in hers.
Sir, if you'll have me, I'd love your blessing to marry your daughter.
Of course you can.
Willie and Charles shake hands, then hug. Blackout. Scene 3. Lights up on the living room in Willie and Alma's house. They're both sitting at the breakfast table, antsy, trying to pass the time. They're almost ready to eat when Alma gets up and walks over to the radio.
Just in case they broadcast early, I don't want to miss the announcement.
We're getting married today. I can feel it in my bone, honey.
Oh, really? Just the one?
It's my good bone.
Alma heads back to the table and sits down. Her knees twitch so hard she shakes the table.
Honey, calm down, okay? We've still got a few minutes.
I know. I'm just nervous.
Me too.
He reaches across the table and holds onto her hand for a moment, and then the radio static clicks in.
Oh, it's on.
Alma jumps up and rushes to listen carefully to the broadcast. The news rattles on about something not pertaining to the decision.
Yeah, tell us the decision.
Willie stands by, smiling.
This just in, the Supreme Court rules in favor of the Loving versus Virginia case and rules interracial marriage now legal in all 50 states.
The newsman's voice fades into the background as they celebrate. They jump for joy. Willie picks Alma up and twirls her around in circles before kissing her lips.
Let's go get married.
Let's go get married.
Blackout. Fly, Dreamer, Fly, written and performed by Alexis, Yazzie.
The universe is telling me to fly. But wait, there's nothing but air in the sky. Where am I going to find stability? Do I now have to rely on my own ability? No one else can tell me what's best. The truth is hidden inside my chest. But how do I become my own best friend? What does my inner child need to mend? All I hear is negative voices, telling me about past choices. Can I handle all of life's stress? All I see in the mirror is a mess. Thoughts from the past bog me down, people from school calling me a clown, mocking me with my own voice. My suffering is now my choice. Turns out my worst enemy is my own brain. I beat myself up and drive me insane. I start to treat myself a little kinder. My soft side is hiding. I can't quite find her. Accepting my own imperfections, speaking to myself with tender affections. Affirmations are my new form of self-love. I've got my own back when push comes to shove. Being the most stable person in my own life, why would I fill up my time with strife? But living through the same day over and over, any change is like a four-leaf clover. My attachment to safety becomes my bane. Seems like the struggle is worth the pain. Taking risks is the spice of existence, and my friends are there if I need assistance. Open my wings with hesitation. Perhaps my failure is just imagination. Approach the edge and take a deep breath. Maybe truly living means to dance with death.
Up next is a special reading of the award-winning film Life in a Vial in recognition of National Diabetes Awareness Month. This film was originally produced in 2020, with 90% of the proceeds being donated to help advocate for affordable insulin in the United States. As of 2021, insulin is the sixth most expensive liquid in the world, averaging at about $13,100 per gallon. 1 in 4 diabetics will resort to rationing their insulin despite the potential fatal consequences. The actors taking part in the following reading all have type 1 diabetes in real life or work in diabetes healthcare. The writer of the screenplay, Samantha Bozin, has had type 1 diabetes for 20 years. To learn more about type 1 diabetes, insulin affordability, or the film, please go to fentressfilms.com/lifeinavial. Life in a Vial, written by Samantha Bozin. #Insulin is a human right. Interior Hospital Day. Abigail is lying down in a hospital bed, squeezing her stuffed animal tightly and staring at the ceiling. Dr. Turner walks in the room, carrying paperwork, and approaches a cart with medical supplies.
Hi, Abigail. I'm Dr. Turner. How you feeling today?
I've been better.
Dr. Turner notices someone sitting in the chair next to Abby's bed. Marcus puts his book down and looks at Dr. Turner.
Hi, I'm Dr. Turner.
Hi, I'm Marcus, Abby's friend.
Friend.
Nice to meet you both. Okay, so based on the lab results from your blood draw, it looks like your blood glucose level is extremely elevated. Looks like you have ketones as well, and yeah, your blood gases show that you're in DKA. So we'll need to admit you to the ICU until your labs normalize. Abigail, how long have you had type 1 diabetes?
Oh, I've had it for 8 years, since I was 10.
Okay. Yeah, okay. And you've been taking short-acting insulin via an insulin pump or injections?
Yeah, I take shots.
And you've been staying on top of taking your insulin when needed?
Yeah.
Abby,
Well, I mean, no. I mean, I'm in college and my family isn't really well off.
Okay, I see. Have you been taking any of your insulin?
I've been using a little bit of my last vial every once in a while. I need it to last me through the month.
Okay, so you've been rationing your insulin because your family can't afford it?
Abby starts to break down. She's crying into her stuffed animal. Marcus puts his hand on Abby's shoulder.
she doesn't want to be a burden to her family.
I understand where you're coming from, Abby. Insulin is way too expensive in this country. It can be hard to feel like you're a burden when you have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for this tiny little vial of medicine that literally keeps you alive. But Abby, you need to take your insulin from now on.
How is she supposed to take her insulin if she can't afford it?
I don't really have a solution for you right now, but I promise we will figure something out for you, Abby.
Dr. Turner pulls out a vial of insulin and a syringe.
I'm going to give you an injection of insulin to bring your blood glucose down. We'll get an IV drip going after that and get some fluids in you to rehydrate you. It's going to be okay, Abby. We will figure this out, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Dr. Turner discards the needle, takes her gloves off, and heads towards the door. She turns back around to Abby and Marcus.
Oh, and Marcus?
Yes.
You really saved your friend's life today by bringing her here. That's really admirable.
Dr. Turner leaves the room. Abby looks over at Marcus, smiles, and mouths, "Thank you." Marcus smiles and nods. Cut to Interior Hospital, next day. Abigail and Marcus are playing cards on the hospital bed and are laughing together. Dr. Turner enters and takes a seat.
Hey, Abby. Hi, Marcus.
Hi.
Hey there.
How are you feeling today?
So much better now that my blood sugar is back in range.
That is so great to hear.
Dr. Turner, as one of Abby's closest friends, I am really concerned about what's going to happen after you leave here today.
Marcus, I'll be fine. I'll figure something out.
I know you say that, but I need to make sure you're going to be okay.
Oh, no, Marcus, it's okay.
I know. I know. I just really care for you, and I don't know how to help. This is just really scary.
Yeah, this is really scary. Insulin is not at all affordable in this country. There have been so many stories similar to yours in the news lately, Abby.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of really scary things in the news.
That's why I want to help you out.
Dr. Turner pulls out several boxes of insulin and an informational pamphlet and puts them on the bed. Abby and Marcus look at each other in complete shock.
Wait, what?
This won't be enough to get you through permanently, but it's a start.
I don't mean to be rude by asking this, but where did you get all of this insulin?
Honestly, I bought it. A group of healthcare providers in our community traveled to Canada to buy insulin in large amounts for people just like you, Abby. It's only a small part of my salary.
What? Wait, no. Why? You're just my doctor. We aren't related or anything.
I know, but my little sister is a diabetic just like you, and you two are about the same age, and it makes me so terrified to think of her being in this same situation. So I had to help you out.
Wow.
Oh my.
I would just hope that someone would do the same thing for her, if she ever needed it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Abigail hugs Dr. Turner. Fade to black.